Please. Bye. Goodbye. I love you.
Right.
No, literally. Gone full feral was always full feral. Oh, it's 2 now. Okay, that's good. Delicious cookies. Oh, nice. Oh, cute. What? How? Liars! There's nothing here. There's no mic here. What? You can hear me? How? Bloody hell. Alright, let's just go on to the main chat, shall we? Wait. I really can hear. Wait, what? We're not liars. Oh, whatever. It's fine. Okay, goodbye. Oh, come on. Here we go. And here. Wait. And here are our faces. Yeah, hi.
Hello, welcome. It's Friday. Happy Friday. Happy new BTS album day. Happy new Dicebreaker Podcast day.
Seriously.
It's an anthology. Let
Surprise,
me take you through all 49
This is a
tracks
BTS podcast.
Three
No
brand
one
new
wants
tracks
this.
and one track that was previously unreleased apart from on a CD album in 2017.
Matt, you're not doing this. If you continue to do this, I'll get Liv to mute you.
Wait, no, then I'd have to mute everyone.
I'll mute you.
Put it to a vote. I'm with Matt. BTS podcast. Let's do it.
Yeah.
No. You
Okay,
complain at us, but we're like, we want to do these things. You're like, that's not tabletop related. And now look at you. You're fully taking over.
Look, I only bring up BTS once in a blue moon. I'm always thinking about BTS, but I only speak about them every now
I'm
and
sure
then.
they
Hello.
appreciate it.
Welcome.
There we go. That should be
welcome.
back to everyone. Enjoy. Yes.
I'm Matt Jarvis. I'm the host of this podcast. I'm joined this week, by Liv Kennedy. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Sorry.
Very polite.
It's okay.
Maddie
I'm
Cullen,
very
of course.
polite.
Hello. I'm here also.
And Alex Meehan.
Hello. You can't. They couldn't keep me locked up. I found a way to break out. I bribed the prison guards.
You watched Liv's excellent video on how to solve escape rooms on the Dicebreaker YouTube
thank
channel.
you.
And you were like, no box can hold me now, metaphorical or otherwise.
I mean, a lot of my tips were like, consult with your friends. Friendship is key. Like, so.
If you don't know the answer, ask somebody else.
Or you can just like wander around for a bit and then finally find that actually there is something there behind it. Underneath the table.
If you don't know what Alex Meehan is talking about, I highly recommend you looking at the Dicebreaker episode where we go into this room with Alex Meehan and none of us
It's an
emerge
experience.
again.
I was on my own in there. I was scared.
The worst escape room I've ever done was with my mum, and she, for complicated reasons, someone passed away, so she was like, "Can you come and do this escape room with me?" And we went, and it was essentially someone had taken just a bedroom in a house. They had filled it with what were quite clearly just like random children's clothes from a charity shop, which was slightly unnerving. It was themed around a pantomime, so it was stuff like, here's a fairy dress, here's like wings and stuff, here is like a I don't know, like a gingerbread person costume. And then at one point we were solving these puzzles, and one of the walls had been quite literally wrapped in like gift wrapping paper. And at one point we had to break through the gift wrapping paper and go through just a literal hole in the wall to a different room.
Cute.
And it was very weird. It was all very lo-fi. It felt like it had been put together on a budget of about £6.50.
Oh.
And it was extremely odd being in a room full of just random children's clothes, a gift wrapped wall, and then being told it's a pantomime. And I was like, okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because you say it's a pantomime doesn't make it a pantomime. It just make it.
You can say anything's a pantomime, mate,
Yeah.
just to make it.
You got a soapbox? Great. It's not a pantomime.
That sounds very cursed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's we've not been back since. I think they did have a different room as well, but it was like I think we'd had our fill. I believe it was a gift. It was a well-intentioned gift, but they presumably had not looked too deeply into what the reality was. Anyway, hello. We're here to talk about board games, tabletop games, all kinds of stuff.
Cool.
Here on this here Friday. It's been a couple of weeks since we had the last podcast proper. We did actually do a podcast special from MCM London, which you can go and check out on the YouTube channel now. But we've been, pretty
not
busy.
now. Wait.
Oh yeah, wait.
No, it's out.
I mean,
no,
it's
I'm
out, but if you want to watch
Wait until
this
the end
and
of this podcast.
yeah,
yes.
then
Oh,
you
Then
can,
go and watch it.
I was like, have we pulled it down? It's
Okay.
re-uploaded, and if you previously watched it, the audio was a little out of whack, but we managed to fix that because the video team were very good. So you can go and watch it with lovely crisp audio now. So yeah, go and watch us rank D&D monsters and rank and also discuss at length the
Sexiness of various
viability of
I'm sorry, but you put me in charge.
and blind foes and
I mean, in charge.
Picking the monster.
you took the
Yeah,
lead.
In charge of
knew what she
offering
was
up
doing.
the
Yeah.
sexy beasts.
bait out there. You know that we were gonna bite.
But yeah, go and check it out. It was a really fun panel. Thank you to anyone that came along.
Yeah.
We also have some other panels from MCM that are going up on the YouTube channel this week and are already up. So yeah, go and check them out. It was a good time at MCM.
One going up on this weekend. That's very exciting to the Matt Jarvises of the world.
That's
Get ready.
me.
Yes.
I'm one of those.
And anime related. And anime related.
Yeah, I'm gonna let professional footballer Matt Jarvis also know as one of the Matt Jarvises of the world.
Maybe he loves anime too.
Yeah.
Who doesn't
maybe.
love anime?
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should we talk about some board games?
Sure, yeah, why not?
Let's do it. We've had a couple of weeks of playing some stuff. What should we chat about? Well, I tell you what. Let's kick off with something that I know at least 3 of us have played, which is also the only game I've really played recently. So I'm going to talk about it regardless. But it's Nemesis Lockdown, which is the PC version of the board game, and Nemesis Lockdown is like a standalone expansion to Nemesis, which can essentially be described as legally distinct alien. You run around a space station being chased by something that is not a xenomorph, but definitely is.
Biddly bots alien.
Yeah, it's like
It's
you
a
find
xenomorph
eggs.
but spelled with a Z. Wait, is it
Like
actually
a-
spelled with an
yeah,
X?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's spelled with a Z.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, xenomorph. Yeah, but you find eggs and you find lava that then tunnel into you, and then once they can just burst out of you and kill you. That may sound
They actually
familiar.
do that. I thought you said they didn't do that.
They can do that. Yeah, they can. You
Ooh.
can
Oh,
you can just
lied.
play
lied.
that game.
You were giving me a false sense of security. You're like, oh, they don't really do anything, and I was like, okay, that's fine.
I was going by what the chat told us because we were playing for the first time, but I've played it a number of times since in the solo mode, and I really like that game. I think the PC version is good. I would say the voice acting is a little amateurish, and I don't, it's fine.
It looks
But it
really
definitely
good.
sounds like someone who developed that game contributed the voices for the characters.
I would too.
Because they're
Yeah.
just kind of
Honestly,
like, I'm going in a room. Like, oh no, there's an intruder.
I feel like that's very unfair because, like, the character that Maddie was playing certainly wasn't like that. He was like,
Yeah, deep voice McGee.
yeah, he was like, like hardcore, like an angsty. I'm too old for this.
in a room.
I'm going
Like
in a
alien.
room. It's a bit like
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the
Yeah,
characters I'm playing. Maybe I'm just naturally drawn to
You're gonna
kind
pick
of
the
like.
bad boys. The
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Maddie's gonna pick the bad boy.
I picked the lab rat, and I thought she was pretty like
cool.
dressed almost in like motorcycle leathers.
Ooh.
Kind of like, yeah, like that looks like someone that could probably take on an alien. Because the leather's going to stand up better than like a lab coat or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think it really matters what you're wearing at this point, to be honest.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Nemesis Lockdown is a game that you can either play solo or it plays up at, I think, 5 people. You run around a space station and you pick up stuff. So you can pick up weapons, you can pick up items. As you enter rooms, you discard cards, and depending on how many cards you discard, it allows you to move more carefully, because a lot of it is about managing the noise that you create. So if you spend fewer cards, you just randomly roll a die and it can generate noise on different corridors and different parts of the space station. And if you create too much noise, then the aliens come to you and they do not very pleasant things, such as kill you.
Yeah.
So
lightly tease you.
Sometimes they just hang around in the room that you're
Sometimes
in.
they
Sometimes that it just says they're not interested.
Yeah, I think
Like,
it's like a random roll. It's if you try and retreat, I think, or if you
Rejection.
try and leave the room, you.
I
roll
know,
to-
right? I
to
feel that
escape.
constantly. Oh, classic,
Okay.
right?
This
Fair
is not good
enough.
for my self-esteem. Please.
So everybody has different objectives, so you are not necessarily working directly against each other, but sometimes you can have someone whose objectives are like murder this
Kill this
character.
person.
But you can choose between 2 sets of objectives that you're given at the start of the game, and most of them are things like go and turn on the power or go and send a signal. I had one the other day that was go and steal an egg and then either escape from the base, which is how you generally
an alien egg,
completely-
not
Yeah,
just like an egg.
Yeah, not just like a boiled egg in the
Right.
fridge. Like, I've left my lunch.
My hard-boiled eggs.
This will go bad if I don't eat it today, so I really need to take it with me.
Oh, someone keeps stealing my lunch. I keep labeling it in the
It's the
fridge.
alien
Or you're
fridge.
stealing someone else's lunch.
I know it's you. It has acidic dribble on it again. I've told you to stop melting my lunchbox.
Sorry.
But yeah, it's fairly straightforward, I would say, as a game. The more I've played of it, the more I've kind of gotten to the rhythm of like, okay, you have a hand of cards. Some of them do very specific things, such as allowing you to check rooms, or you can just straight up attack the intruders if they come. So you can, use guns or knives or stuff like that. But most of the game is about trying to avoid them because they are quite brutal. As I discovered when I stole the egg, and then I had the choice of either trying to escape the base through the rover or locking myself in the isolation room. And I went to the isolation room, and you have to
Why?
roll to get through the door. And I fudged the roll about 3 or 4 times in a row. Multiple intruders appeared. I'd wasted all of my ammo. I only had a grenade. I threw the grenade in the room and then tried to
Why?
punch the alien. The alien had 1 health left, and I tried to punch it, missed, and it just killed me. So I was just trying to open the door while this alien tore me to
That's
shreds.
my kind of luck. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it was very true to most of the people in those Alien films, which, spoiler, doesn't work out well for most of them,
It works out well for
like
the
a
alien.
50-year-old film now? Something like
Hey
that?
now, it's only 40 years old.
Wow.
1979 is Alien,
Oh god.
so and 86
Yeah.
is Aliens.
Give
so,
or take 4 years, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I really like Nemesis. Those of you who played it with me, what did you think playing it for the first time?
I liked it. Yeah, it was really fun. Again, we only played it firstly briefly to learn it and then together on stream. And yeah, as you say, you can get to grips with it pretty quickly, but I made a lot of mistakes. But I can see those now, which is mainly just not going quietly enough. So we spawned a lot of aliens when we played. So.
Yeah, we were just bumbling about the space station.
Just following each other around, making more noise, but someone else has already
Slamming
made noise.
saucepans together like yeah.
Yeah.
My objective was to kill the janitor, or let the janitor die, which was
Who was that, Maddie?
Meehan's character. But I'll say it seemed like an easier objective, and I achieved my objective. So,
Yeah, I did. My character did die.
so maybe running around and bringing loads of
Not
aliens.
before yours did.
Yeah, yours died before mine, didn't they?
No, you died first. You died before Matt or I. So do you remember those?
You still
No, I
won.
don't remember that.
I swear,
Yeah.
I swear you did. You befell a terrible fate. I think an alien just would not leave you alone.
Yes, I did
And then
eventually just get chased.
You
So I
died.
couldn't escape anywhere, and I had no ammo, and I was like, I don't know what to do.
I wasn't far, I was far behind.
Yeah,
I just
managed
kept
to escape.
getting the alien queen just really liked me.
Yeah.
She was
Queen
big
In the
fan.
queen's favour. Mm.
Yeah, the queen. I don't know what the queen actually looks like. Do you think she actually is the big? Because she appears on the map as this big, like, tentacle mountain.
Yeah, it's like a dune sandworm kind of thing.
Yeah, but I'm not convinced that's all of her. I think that's just like one little bit, right?
Oh, really?
I don't think she's just a worm,
There's
right?
more to her.
I think it might be. Because I had
The
to, one of
others-
my objectives was to kill the queen, which is why I was kind of saying, like, no, Mean, like, you should go for it. Like,
Yeah.
just go out with a bang, like, throw yourself into it in the hope that you just
Coward.
finish it off.
Go
So
first, and then you
I
die.
think that was it. But
Yeah, and she had a little friend with her as well. And they just kept like following me around the map. And my objective was really weird. It was like, oh, you just have to make sure the base isn't destroyed. And I'm like, so wait, if I leave and it's
That
not
sounds
destroyed
tough.
by that point, does that count? Or does it just mean I have to just stay and make sure it's not destroyed throughout the game? It wasn't quite obvious what that meant.
Yeah.
So I did my first bit, which was easy, just like send a signal. But then afterwards, I was literally just wandering around, like putting fires out and just doing my job, just doing janitorial duty, while
that.
being pursued by these aliens. So I thought it was pretty good. It was a bit overwhelming to start with. I think it really needs the tutorial. Like, it really needs a tutorial.
yeah, it's
Um,
worth saying that we were playing an early access version, and it's still in early access now, I believe. So when we were originally playing it, they had not implemented the tutorial. It was just a tutorial video because we were playing
It's
before
just a video.
it came out. Yeah, which, you know, they did tell us, like, hey, we haven't put the tutorial in yet.
Okay.
They were upfront about that. And I haven't actually tried the tutorial since, so I don't know what it's like. But I believe that it should now be in there for anyone who
I
goes and
think,
picks up now.
yeah, it makes a big difference because you just sort of dropped into it and you're like, there you go. And we're like, okay, we got a vague idea of what we need to do. But I feel like initially it comes across as a lot like complicated, but actually what you're doing in the game is fairly straightforward. You're just moving about and hitting things. It's just like things will happen to you and you're like, what does that mean? Like the little thing that goes inside you and you're like, I don't know what that means.
Having played a little
Nothing
bit
good.
more, some of that gets cleared up by just knowing the cards are a lot of the heart of it. So it's like you'll find contamination cards that are given to you by getting like the worm inside you, and they chog up your hand. But you can also find cards where you can essentially scan yourself for these contaminations, and that involves drawing more cards. But if you reveal a contamination card, it's basically the equivalent of the chest burster coming out, and you just die.
Oh,
So there's a risk reward to trying to get rid of them.
a bit rough.
But I do think some of the end of round stuff, where you kind of see an overview of the base and it kind of ticks down an activity log on the right hand side. Sometimes you get little cutscenes of an intruder fighting with someone. Sometimes it just kind of quickly throws something up and doesn't really explain like what that means or why it's
Like,
happening.
oh, the woman just says something. You're like, what the hell does that mean? And then you just continue, you just keep going.
Sounds bad.
Yeah,
That
so
sounds bad.
there is a bit of that, but I do think, having played it a couple more times, I have a better grasp now of like, oh, okay, I kind of know why this is happening or why that's happening. Like, I know why this is this alien's appeared, or I know why the power's gone out. But again, early access, I suspect they'll clean some of that stuff up because there's like a few typos in there and bits and bobs like that. So it's clearly still in development a little bit.
Yeah, we definitely found one or two. I can't remember which one there was one we specifically like commented on that was a bit funny. I can't remember. That was pointless. But yeah,
it's in a good place right now to say it's early access. It'll be exciting to like play a bit more hopefully and see it kind of come fully completed.
Yeah, I think visually it looks pretty great. Like I say, you get little cutscenes where the intruders attack you and you fight back, and generally it looks more like XCOM than it does like I think they capture kind of the atmosphere and so on of the board game well in a 3D kind of environment.
It's a bit like scary to be like, so there's this like horrible noise that happens, and then like an alien is just there, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that scare.
Yeah, it's some of the things are small things. Like I found it kind of disorientating at points to find my way around because you can spin the camera, but obviously the board is like a fixed orientation, and you can click on doors, but most of the doors just look like sci-fi corridors. And if you haven't been to a room before, it will just say like unknown room. So if you're in a room where you haven't been, through 3 of the doors, they all kind of just look identical. So then I was having to spin the camera so it was orientated north, then check the map because I wanted to make sure I was heading in the right direction. Little things like that. But like I say, on the whole, I think it's good. Like I've gone back to it multiple times since. It's kind of been the thing that I've played this week.
You invite us, Matt.
You're welcome. You're welcome to come and join.
I'm looking at my mailbox. I'm not seeing any invites.
My mailbox.
Sorry,
probably part of the problem.
By post. Yeah. Your invitation's still in the mail. It's just I sent it second class. But yeah, that's Nemesis Lockdown. Anything more on Nemesis Lockdown before we move on?
You covered it.
I think we want to play one of the board games, like definitely at some point.
Yeah, it seems like it's very really accurate to the board game, so I'd be interested to play it, having enjoyed the digital version.
Yeah,
I'd be interested to play it. It sounds good. So
we should play. Let's play. Let's find a time to play all this again.
Let's just dump off the rest.
Woo!
Yeah. Thanks for. This has been the Dicebreaker Podcast. We're off to play board games. Yeah, we should play again because, like I say, I'm enjoying it a lot. I think it's something that I'll keep going back to. And now that I've got a handle on it, it's actually quite quick. Like when we played that first game, it did last, I think, about 2 hours or an hour and a half.
No, it wasn't. It was not 2 hours. No, it was very quick. Things went. I think it was.
But we also did die very early on.
Yeah, no, it was very bad.
Very quick, very bad.
The turns were longer. But now that I've got a bit more of a handle on it, the turns kind of go a bit quicker because I know exactly what I'm looking to do. To finish up quickly on what I've been playing, I mean, that's basically it. I'll give a shout out because we haven't done a podcast since for Channel A, which is the game that we played on stage with the stars of My Hero Academia, the anime. As the team's resident anime fan, I can hear Wheels just hollering weeb in the distance somewhere. It's cool. I like it. It's a very simple party game. It's one of those. It's similar to something like Fun Employed, where you're given prompts. In this case, it's like genres of anime show. So it could be like sci-fi and magical girl, like Sailor Moon-esque. And then everybody has single word title cards in their hand, and you can put up to 4 of them together to create the name of your anime show, and then you basically pitch your anime show. So you'd be like, super robot, like Super Robot Goldfish X is going to be a great one of these because this and this, and it's one of those. It does the job, but I think it's from Evil Hat Productions, which a lot of folks will know as the publisher of things like Blade in the Dark, Thirsty Sword Lesbians, and more. They've got a good track record of putting out good games. I think this is a good one of those. I
think it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not really that fussed by these types of games. Like,
I think if
I like Snake Oil, that's fun.
If I don't think it's wrong of me to say, Matt, that you and your friends are quite into anime. And so I feel as though it would be, quite enjoyable for your group. And so that's who it's for.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to play it for hours and hours into the morning. But I think as a quick party game to bust out that isn't Cards Against Humanity or something that is basically Cards Against Humanity, it's at least it finds the funny in what people come up with rather than just providing the punchlines for you, which I think is the mark of a better party game. Again, it's pretty simple. It's basically an improv game with prompt cards. But I think if you like anime, it's a good one of those. There's nothing problematic in there. I think Evil Hat, again, have a good track record with that stuff, and anime does not have a good track record with some of that stuff. So the fact that, it's pretty clean, it sticks to the good kind of anime that you actually do want to watch. And there's some fun references in there for people who like anime. Like a lot of the the fonts of those words. You know, when you see the words one and peace, it's like, that looks like a close but legally distinct font to the One Piece logo.
I did happen to find one that was academia, and it looked very close to.
Exactly, yeah. And it's like, there's the word alchemist in there, and it's like, okay, you know, that's a word that wouldn't appear in any other context than a reference to Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah. So yeah, I think again, if you're into anime, it's a fun party game. It's fairly cheap. It does exactly what it says on the box, which is Channel A. Lastly, I have a copy of the new Warhammer game sat next to me, Warhammer: The Horus Heresy, which is, for those unfamiliar, it's Warhammer 30k. So it is a prequel to 40k. It's set 10,000 years beforehand. I think the last Horus Heresy 30k set was 10 years ago, something like that, a while back. I know that there is a subset of 40k fans who are really big into 30k. For those who aren't familiar, the thrust of it is that everything is Space Marines. It's set probably during the most interesting part of the Warhammer 40k lore, which is the Horus Heresy, which is basically the Emperor, who is the big, the main kind of figure in 40k lore. His son, Horus, basically decides to be not particularly great. It splits the Space Marines down the middle, so you've got like traitors and you've got, you know, other Space Marines. But it means that one of the big things about Horus Heresy and 30k is that everyone's basically playing Space Marines, so you don't have to collect a particular army. You can just collect Space Marines, and then it's how you build out your particular army of Space Marines that then makes them different. So, you know, you can customize them with particular specializations based on which faction of Space Marines they are, but it means that most of the models are transferable across different armies. So yeah, it's cool. It is kind of iconic for having the different Space Marine armor. They're known as beakies because they have like little bird beaks. They look great. I really like them. And I think that it's set during kind of the only kind of period of Warhammer 40k lore that I actually am kind of interested in, because it's basically just a load of Space Marines fighting each other and calling each other traitors, and there's a lot of politics. It's basically Game of Thrones Warhammer, because it's a lot of like who falls on which side of this internal conflict. You know, that's my take on it. I'm not a super deep 30k fan, but I am looking forward to diving into it more. I opened that box, there were a lot of models, and I went, I will do this over the weekend.
Yeah, that's a weekend job.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to playing it because, you know, 30k is pretty cool. 40k they've done some interesting stuff with recently. So also there's a tank in there, and I liked it.
Ooh, nice.
40k tanks.
Yeah, they're good.
All right. Who's got something that they've played that they want to talk about?
I can jump in if you want. Just because I remembered that I did play a bunch of stuff over the last week or so, but not particularly board games, so maybe this is the wrong order to go in, but still, I played 4 escape rooms with Chloe.
Wow.
We did 4 escape rooms.
Wow.
And they were really fun and good, and I thought I would talk about them a little bit. Yeah, we went to Cardiff to visit my parents, because that's where I'm from, and there's a bunch of different escape rooms in Cardiff. Like there's so many, like it's like 5 or 6 different escape rooms in Cardiff. There's a lot, but we went to Escape Rooms Cardiff, and they have a bunch of really cool ones. They have like they've done a revamp recently, so they have one that's like a Sherlock room, but they've like basically rejigged it around so that you are working for Moriarty and you're breaking into Sherlock's home.
That's cool.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
to like switch out some top secret files so that you and your comrades don't get found out. Which, yeah, I mean, we enjoyed, you know, the twist on that one, which was good. There was like, there are a bunch of, there's always like a really like simple first task that you need to do to get the ball rolling, and every single time we were just like, hello, anyone? Because like obviously they will, you know, give you hints on the screen if you need a hint. But it was something as simple as like, oh wow, it was weird that Sherlock has like a rack that's got spaces for 7 canes maybe there are 7 canes in the room, huh, gang? We were like, maybe, yeah. So yeah, you have to go around and find the different canes and put them in order. And then we were like, what's the order? They don't fit, the heights aren't good enough, blah, blah. And then they were like, they all have rings around them, don't they, huh? It's funny how you just like turn into like a baby when you really don't know what's going on. Like at one point we did one that was called The Tomb, and I kid you not, I swear it must have been like 15 minutes, because it was a pretty simple one where it was mainly dexterity games. So there was one where you have to like drop a metal ball in, and then it like slides down a chute, and you have to like twist it around and stuff. Very Jungle Run, which was fun.
Whoa!
Yeah, right. I knew you'd get that, Alex. Me, and I was like, oh,
you know what I like.
Yeah. And then it drops down to the bottom, and we were like, thunk. Okay, it hit the bottom, and it had like this little slat open at the bottom. We were like, Mike, talking to the guy like, it's not opening, Mike. And he just left us for like a good 10-15 minutes to just stew.
Oh, no.
And we were like, what? And then eventually he was like, maybe something else opened in the room. And then we looked over at like a wall, and it had like opened like a centimeter, and we were like, right, Mike, how are we supposed to see that, huh? How? But yeah, it turns out it was a little red herring, because that's how they get the balls back out. So there was nothing to do with that, the little slab, the bomb. But yeah, so we did that. Yeah, we did The Tomb. We did. What else was there? We did a zombie one. That was the last one we did that we really enjoyed.
Whoa!
Yeah.
There was zombies?
Zombies, man.
Are you okay?
Barely made it out alive, man. Almost bit me.
I love the idea of being chased by a zombie and being like, hold on, I need to solve this puzzle.
Yeah.
But, like, stop trying to eat my brain. I need to put these blocks in the correct order.
Please. It's for my pride. The concept of the room was that you were like being chased by like a horde of zombies, and I was like, being the little smart ass I am, I was like, are they exactly an hour behind us, Mike? He's like, yes. I was like, okay.
You've got fantastic time management.
Yeah.
You know, they might be undead, they might hunger just for brains, but you know, never.
They're on a schedule.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very like. Think of the organization that like the World War Z zombies would have to like, you know, lift on top of each other and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it's a worth it.
That's Cirque du Soleil right there. Yeah.
It really is.
I still remember seeing that trailer and be like,
what is happening? That's not what zombies
don't
do.
hate that film. I don't hate that film.
That does not surprise me, knowing
the video
your
game
taste.
is surprisingly okay.
There's a video game?
They do the thing where they pile on each other, and you go, "That's cool," and then you go, "I'm glad I didn't pay 40."
Yeah, you go, "That's cool" for about 2 seconds, and then you're like, "The rest of this is pretty bad."
Yeah, I don't know. It's all right. It's all right.
Right, Liv, please tell us about this escape room, please.
Sure, yeah. Also, to do with World War Z, did you know that at the end they have to get the vaccine and they get it in Cardiff? Another tie back to Cardiff.
Cardiff, the home of zombies and also zombie vaccines.
Yeah, exactly. Acclaimed fame.
CDC.
So yeah, we were in this in this room in a bunker, and we had to get like the electricity back online. So that was fun. But they were just like, it was so. Like, I know there's never going to be an actor in there, because they need to warn you, and it's for your safety and for the actor's safety if there's going to be an actor in there, and there's no warning. So it's like, there's nothing in here. I know there's nothing in here, but it was so slightly unsettling. They waited like 5 to 10 minutes till like into it to start having little things going on. Yeah. And we were like, Did you hear that? Yeah, no, I heard it.
Honey, did you burn?
Honey, was that you? No, dear. And then we were like, oh, it's coming from the medical bay, isn't it? So they had like, it has like an entrance area, and then it has like some metal bars, and then like a medical bay. and then like a little room at the back where you could see like a heart monitor going off, and it was like, oh no. Hate that for us. There was like a big shutter that you had to get open as well, which we eventually did. It was a really cool clue actually. It was like you have to get like a laptop open, and then you had to like listen to this guy. He was like an actor, I assume, unless he was real. And he was like, oh, remember to do 2 shots to the heart and then 2 shots to the head. And then I was like, oh, well, if you look behind the door over there, it's got like one of those like range, like shooting range, like guys with like the silhouette and whatever, and it had like numbers on different areas of the body. So I was like, oh, it's gonna be that 2 of that number and 2 of that number, and that was really fun. Anyway, yeah, it was great. And then we got the shutter up, and like as Chloe was pulling it up, they turned off all the lights where we were, and then turned on the lights in. No, I don't think there were lights on anywhere. So I basically had my back to the wall shouting, no! Because all the lights had gone off all of a sudden. I was very mad. But yeah, that was a very good one. There was like a bunch of different puzzles to solve to do with like blood types, and like there was one where you had to like match up symbols with like symbols flashing on the heart monitor thing. It's very good. Yeah, we had a good time. Maddie, I really want to do an escape room with you. We need to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've never done one in my life, so that would be very fun.
Yeah.
I love hearing your stories. It fills me with the joy and excitement.
always talking about it.
There's that Warhammer escape room, I think, up in Nottingham.
There's a Warhammer escape room.
There is, yeah.
Is it just like
how is
you
that gonna
have
work?
you have to glue a Sylvaneth army together and like not
Yeah, that's
cry.
it. Yeah. It's actually 4 hours long. You just sit at a table the whole
a
time.
mini.
That's a
Isn't
classic
there like a
D&D session.
Warhammer? Isn't Warhammer World happening this weekend?
Yeah, Warhammer World is always there. It's just Games Workshop's thing, and you can do studio tours.
Ah, it's not an event. It's like a place you can go.
Yeah. They have other Warhammer events, but Warhammer World is just like it's like the Cadbury's factory tour.
Do they have like a little water ride that you can go on, and it's like
Instead
it's like it's a small world, and then like you've got all the different factions from the space, like from Warhammer 40k, and they're all like little mannequins.
There's just 20 orcs going Space Marine.
Amazing.
I don't believe there is a water ride at Warhammer World.
then-
I've never been, so I don't know for sure.
They're missing out on money.
Yeah,
Come on.
it's money left on the table.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Liv, have you played anything else or done anything else? I mean,
Um,
that sounds like a lot, to be fair. Like 4
Yeah.
escape rooms in like the space of a weekend, or
Yeah.
so. Like
They
that's...
were so sick of seeing our faces after a little while. I assume. But yeah, we did one more that was like a medieval castle that was like based on like Cardiff Castle.
Oh whoa!
Which was fun.
Cool.
Were there actors there?
No, there weren't.
Oh,
But there
come
were
on.
a few jump scares. It was quite funny as well because like we were like let in and we were like, okay, let's look around. All right, there's some rats on the floor and there's this and that, and then we got like two like. After like a minute, there was a knock on the door, and we were like, ah! And then like the door opened, they were like, hey guys, we didn't reset this room. Please get out, get out. And we were like, whoa, okay, sorry. So we had to wait outside, and they were like, we're so sorry. And we were like, this is fine. Like, don't worry, we know it's not real. It's okay.
I feel like they're really missing out
Mm-hmm.
on like having an actor there, because then you could have someone like with a beard and like a big old cloak. That should be like, you know, like, like, you look at the riddle. I'm Merlin. I love that stuff. It's like Crystal Maze. Like in the Crystal Maze. Was it Tom no. Was it Tom Baker? Was Tom Baker in the Crystal Maze? Am I imagining?
I don't know. It was Richard O'Brien.
No, Richard O'Brien was like hosting it.
Oh,
but
I see.
Swear,
I think Tom Baker maybe.
in the medieval bit, or it was like a Titanic bit. It was one or the other. But Tom Baker.
Tom
I
Baker was
swear.
just there.
He was
And all of it.
no, he was like one of the characters that would kind of help them out. Like,
Hi, I'm Tom Baker.
or am I getting confused with Fort Boyard?
Fort Boyard,
You
yeah.
might be getting confused with Fort Boyard.
I think I'm getting confused with Fort
Or like
Boyard.
Nightmare. Do you remember Nightmare? That was like a fun
Oh
one.
my god, do I remember Nightmare? Of course I remember Nightmare.
Sorry,
Like, this is
apologies,
my
Alex.
jam. No, I think I don't think Tom Pertwee was in Nightmare because I'm pretty sure that like everyone in Nightmare was just some rando.
Yeah,
I
like
don't
a
think
friend
they
they'd
actually
hired.
had any. Like I
Mhm.
don't think they had any celebrities. They just had like amateur actors that they had access to.
Mhm.
But
Kirby Brostone says Tom Baker was in Fort Boyard, I think.
Yeah.
there you go.
There you go.
Oh no, I think he was in the lighthouse or something, and then they would go and visit him sometimes because he'd get lonely, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
People.
That's what happens after your Doctor Who. You have to do a stint in a lighthouse, like the film
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Lighthouse.
the lighthouse.
You have to live with
Oh.
Willem Dafoe for.
Oh
like,
god.
months.
Yeah, if you were living with Willem Dafoe's farts for that long, you would want a break, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
No, once you've been Doctor Who, you've got to be in Fort Boyard, and then you've also got to be in the Dungeons and Dragons film as well. So,
Cool.
Yeah, the natural
Yeah.
progression. There we go. Bring
Yeah.
it full circle back to tabletop. Nice job.
Yeah. Also,
I always do.
speaking of Nightmare, I just was thinking we should do Nightmare. We could absolutely put
oh
that
my
together.
god, can you imagine if we did Nightmare?
We could
No, I
absolutely
think
do that.
there is I think they do like at UK Games Expo they do Nightmare Live,
Oh,
which is
wow.
like a live show version of Nightmare. But we could contact those people and be like, could we do Nightmare? Like
Yeah.
that would be so. I
Let's
would
bring
love
it
that
back.
so much.
Yeah,
I
we could
love
absolutely do
Nightmare.
that.
Although, like, one of the things we'll have to do is we will have to dress like a 1990s, late 1980s, 1990s, like kids
Mm.
Right. Okay.
with the jumpers and like
Bucket
the
hats
haircut.
on,
Yeah,
little-
like
pedal pushers.
So, one of my favorite things about Nightmare is just the kids in it. Just like,
Oh.
and yeah, they've got a special thing
Mhm.
about them. And then I
I was gonna say Pink
Trade
Daisy, who gets to wear the helmet. Yeah, we all take turns wearing the helmet, of course. Right?
yeah, it depends how much time we'd have because
Yeah.
I think it's more fun. I don't want to wear the helmet. I think it's more fun to be the people looking at the screen
Oh.
and being like, "Don't do that, you idiot." Because wearing the helmet is always so frustrating. Because
I'm happy to be the idiot. I'll do it. Like, yes, I'll do
Hey,
it.
you know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like most of Nightmare is like on YouTube. You can just watch
I
it,
love that.
and like I
It's my Friday night
spend
sorted. Thanks.
a significant time in like first year of university watching Nightmare.
Yes.
And, like, my friend was like, I could hear you like yelling through the door. Being like, "Don't do that, you idiot!"
Stupid face. I mean, can't see your face.
Why
but
would
still.
you give her the comb? She clearly doesn't want that.
Oh, we can
yeah,
do
but
that.
Nightmare.
Yeah.
I would.
Oh,
love that
amazing.
so much.
Mhm.
I mean, you've done Wipeout, and now it's time to just make our way
Yeah.
through all the TV like game shows
Jungle
for
Exactly.
the
Run.
last 30
Jungle
years.
Run, yes. I'm gonna
Fort
like
Boyard.
take us into like the forest and just set up my own jungle run for all of us. It'd be great.
Okay, I
That's
love
the kind of
that.
thing that appears on the news. Is
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
Michael Woodman
or,
sets
like,
up own like death trap obstacle
5
course.
people get lost in like forests for 4 days.
This
do
is the
that.
like Jigsaw origin story.
You were just trying to make a fun game show. Like, what's wrong?
It's a fun gang. It's like, oh, gorilla spotted in, like, that's one headline one day, gorilla spotted in British countryside. And then, like, a few days later, it's like, gorilla was actually Milo and Otis from Jungle Run, what local woman sets up.
I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
shipping in live animals to recreate Jungle Run.
No.
Probably not.
No.
No,
It's
no,
suits. It's
They
suits.
were
Yeah.
people in costumes, weren't
Yeah.
What? Hang on. What do you mean there were people in costume?
Milo and
They were, like,
Otis.
they were Milo and Otis. They
Uh-huh.
were like the OG.
Yeah.
They were gorillas, Matt.
Yeah.
No,
They
weren't.
lived in Jungle Run.
Animal cruelty is a bad thing.
They were
They loved
very
it.
serious,
They loved it,
Matt.
man.
they loved throwing things at people.
That's what
love
happened to
it.
kids who weren't able to escape from Jungle Run is they then had to serve as
honestly,
Oh
I
my
remember
God.
feeling genuine fear, like
hate
when
that.
they would get locked. Like,
Yeah.
you know, the one that they would do when they were like on their hands and knees going through the tunnels and stuff. I would feel genuine fear when they were like gonna get locked in. I was like, they're never gonna come out again.
Yeah, what was the
It's like,
price for
die
the
in
golden
there.
monkey? They had to get out of the main
Yeah.
like ending was they had to get the golden monkey and run out. And,
Yeah,
Well,
and
no,
they get stuck in the
no.
belly.
No,
that's
the
it.
Yeah.
jungle, the
What?
the temple of the Monkey King.
Yeah, sorry, of course.
Was in the belly,
Yeah.
but then there were like 3 different chambers.
Yeah,
and the
there were
gold
several
one
chambers.
was right at the end.
Bronze,
that's what I'm saying,
silver,
that's the main
gold,
prize.
and then
You didn't necessarily have to get the gold one.
Yeah, but that
you
was
only
what
got
you
the
were
gold
after.
one if you had enough time.
I
Yeah,
mean-
if you weren't a
Sometimes-
scrub. Yeah.
yeah, usually you get the if you get the gold one, you get like a pack of
Ooh.
yo-yos or whatever, and then like
Yeah.
No, you get like compact cameras or like
Yeah.
a CD player or like
Yes.
Mhm.
like a Game Boy Advance,
Like a
handheld
DS.
console.
I love rewatching like old
Yeah.
like shows to see the prizes and
Oh,
the
the
kids are like,
prizes!
yeah,
It's like
camera.
it's like, dude, that's like a wiggly worm on a string. Why are you freaking out?
Yes. Love Wiggly
That's
Worm.
Love
hours
Wiggly
of
Worm.
fun, man.
I know it is, I
Wiggly
know it is.
Worm.
Oh, big
so-
stuff.
it's
Run
so
that over
amazing.
digital camera.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Maddie's like
Oh.
digital camera, Wiggly Worm.
Can we each like get a Dicebreaker wiggly worm for each of us, our little companions? Yeah.
Of our
Wow, we're
personality.
coming up with a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
This
We
is
really are.
brainstorming. This is what we need these podcasts for.
Match
so
up
we
is.
come up with ideas live.
I'm sure I can make it happen, Liv.
Woo!
What was the like high street shop that used to just sell basically stuff you'd find in party bags?
JML? No, that's not high school.
No,
It was
JML, how dare you live?
It would sell like wooden pop guns and those little bugs where you open the locket
I don't
and
know what
it's a
you're
little
talking
bug
about.
that wiggles
Hawkins Bazaar?
around. Hawkins
like-
Bazaar, that's it,
Oh.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Party bag shop. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I
That's
feel
where you
like-
could find all of that stuff. I assume it doesn't exist anymore because that's
Maybe.
the British high street for you. Just
Yeah.
assume that it's gone out of business in the last 20 years.
Wow,
Uh,
Matt, way to bring the feeling down, the vibes.
Let's start our own
welcome to
Hawkins
the
Bazaar.
UK.
Is this the next thing, Liv? We're
Yeah.
gonna start. Okay. So right now we've got Do Nightmare,
Uh-huh.
Do Jungle Run,
Yeah,
a Wiggly Worms,
Wiggly Worms and Hawkins Bazaar.
Bazaar.
Yeah, Hawkins Bazaar is like a full retail store. Like it's not a skit. It's a full store we set up.
Yeah, that seems like a great thing to invest in
We are
right
just
now.
moving into retail. Yeah. Brick and
will
mortar
be
retail
closed
have never been
now.
stronger.
It'll be closed in a week.
The fans
Yeah.
want it, please. Community wants it.
We could do a pop-up shop.
Let's do
Oh.
a poll, and if 100 people say yes,
It's
then
like,
we'll go on
you've got to
Dragon's
come,
Den.
guys. You've got to show
Walk
up.
on
Yeah.
Dragon's Den.
I have so many
Yeah.
dragons. Dragon Den. We should go on it.
Yeah, we could do our own dragons.
We can't give all our business ideas away on this podcast.
Oh my god!
Oh.
Stop listening! Everybody stop!
This is now a business meeting. Please exit the meeting room.
Yeah, you can't steal this because otherwise.
We've said it. It's copyright.
Yeah.
The copyright.
pretend-
Do not steal.
I'm declaring copyright on everything.
That's how it works. You
You-
just have to say it, and then no one can take your idea.
Copyright.
You can't steal this, otherwise I'll be a barista. Not a barista, a barrister.
Why do you keep doing this?
You serving
be a
justice or
lawyer.
you serving like coffee?
I'll be a barrister and I'll be like, you can't steal this.
Alex,
and
me
then
and
they'll be like,
barista.
where's
Yeah.
your degree?
Cool,
Good
I hear that.
lord.
Can I have a double shot espresso to go?
Barrister is a good like law firm.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
thought you'll have something here. Let's take this to
Oh,
Dragon.
hang on.
Welcome to Barrister and Barrister LLP, comma takeaway to go.
Yeah, and we'll be able to get all the funding from this, right, Matt? We'll be
Yeah,
able
oh,
to
yeah.
convince the higher ups.
Yeah.
that
This
we
is a
should
great
get the money
Dragon's Den
for it.
idea. Yeah.
Well, we've made all our
Yeah.
money
Yeah.
from our retail store.
Yeah.
We'll
Would you like a Rice Krispie square with your lawsuit? Please help yourself.
Okay, but that's
Oh,
so
that's
fun.
such a-
Oh, Rice Krispie squares.
It's a sad
Ah.
one. I want like a chocolate biscuit at the very least, please. Love a chocolate
You don't want a
biscuit.
Rice Krispie square?
No, I'm alright, thank you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, more for me and Meehan, that's fine.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
we're gonna eat all the
Cool.
Rice Krispies.
Wait, isn't Alex Meehan the barista? So she's like, so do you get one
Yeah,
if you
you
go to
can't
trial?
eat the. Don't eat the.
Yeah.
But I also get
You're
them.
eating the profits.
No, please. This is why we're going
That's
down
not
the
the
drain.
first time that's been said to me.
Oh, when I used to work at a well-known UK cinema chain, we would literally
Why are
when
you
we
saying this? Like
when
you
we'd
can't
make
do
the
this?
nachos,
You.
it was Cineworld.
Cineworld.
I'm saying it for
Damn
comedic value. Yeah, when we used to do the nachos, we had to like if there were any crumbs left in the bottom of the
I
bag, we
remember
had to
this.
weigh the crumbs. Oh yeah, you are also a Cineworld alumni.
I'm an alumni, yes.
Yes.
Oh no, I'm an Odeon alumni. The
Odin.
Oh,
the,
you're
yeah.
the top
We had
tier.
Weigh the
Oh, wow.
crumbs, the crisp crumbs left in the bottom of the packet of crisps, because that's capitalism for you. They were like, we can't let these
Unreal.
crumbs, and then they just get chucked. But they wanted to make sure that nobody from the staff would.
Everyone's leaving.
Everything. What? It's my terrible internet doing its thing. Why? Oh no, you've swapped places. Why have you swapped places?
Oh, I hate
It's
when
fine,
it does
don't worry about
that.
Why?
Oh no. Well, they.
All right,
Are we still
I think
live?
we're back.
Hi.
We're
here.
It lives.
Hello, everyone. Just swapping
Oh,
some stuff
maybe-
over.
That's so weird. It's just saying that there are only like 20 people watching, but there
It's-
were like more than that.
It's
Ah,
probably
don't
because
worry
when
about
the actual stream drops, it goes down to them because
Yeah.
they're not
Mhm.
technically watching because the whole thing's filmed.
Ah,
Anyway, let's get back on track.
Yeah, I
I don't
think
know where it dropped out, so we
we
can
were
move
talk-
on from
We've
the
been talking
Turnip
about
story.
throwing pick a mix.
I think it was divine intervention being like,
Yeah.
move on.
Stop it.
uh,
For the love of
An
God.
act of God to be like, please move on with this podcast. Who else has played something and wants to talk about it?
Yeah, I'll go.
Please do.
We've done some stuff together, Meehan, so...
Yeah, we did some stuff together. Where did we go, Maddie? The last weekend?
We were out to UK Games Expo.
It
It was
literally
very
Yay.
fun.
Yay.
First
very
time.
fun. Yeah. We went to I know I'm watching us like transcend reality on the podcast.
Don't worry about it. Nobody look at it.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna pretend it's
Look at it.
it's great. I love it. Yeah, we went to UK Games Expo in the Birmingham NEC Convention Centre. One of the most exciting things about it was that I got to ride the fast train there. That was very thrilling
Yeah.
and enjoyable. It was like a roller coaster. It was wild. And also, I had the best almond croissant I've ever eaten in my life there.
You've never sounded more like Paddington Bear.
Mm,
It's like,
the big fast train.
It had a cherry filling, okay?
Ah.
This is revolutionary.
Oh, I was thinking about the train, not the filling. Sure, yeah.
It's both of it.
Oh,
But Paddington
right.
understands
Yeah,
how to live a good life, so that's
Yeah.
a great compliment.
Yeah,
It would be
train,
a marmalade
fast trains,
filling, in fairness,
eating.
but-
Yeah.
You calling me Paddington is a compliment.
oh no, I didn't mean
Yeah.
it as an insult. Not at all.
He's a national treasure, Matt.
Paddington.
As are you.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, we went to UK Games Expo. It was very busy, even on the Friday.
Yeah.
Which, you know, like I expect the Saturday to be pumping, but the Friday was pretty busy as well.
Yeah, it was a bank holiday, right? Because it was,
Yes.
it was the Queen
Bank
Jubilee
holiday.
long weekend.
Yeah, so yeah, we did some schmoozing, didn't we, Maddie? We sort of
Yeah. It was
chatted
like the
to some
first half of the day was just saying hi to people.
Yeah, we got
meeting
some
people.
interesting
Hmm.
nuggets.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Hopefully will come to fruition.
We had a great thing going where like I had a notebook like making
Oh.
notes. Meehan was like going in, getting the info, and I was
Oh,
there like
yeah.
word for
Like the
word.
stenographer.
Yeah.
We were like trailblazing reporters.
Yeah.
Two young like women just going in and like getting the news.
Truly
Meehan.
girl
Start
bossing.
spreading the news.
You are literally a reporter.
This was not an AU. This was just the U.
Look, I had like one of those like flip up notebooks, so it felt very
Strong, yeah.
official. you know?
Yeah,
You're really
yeah.
leaning into it.
Yeah, it felt like we were both the woman from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I can't
April.
remember her name.
Yeah.
April O'Neil. We
Yeah.
were both April O'Neil. And then there were like crimes everywhere that we had to be
Crimes?
aware of.
Who was criming? Any thieving?
I'm sure there were crimes taking place.
Oh, I love
at
thieving.
some point. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. And then we played a little bit of Crescent. Well, I played a bit of Crescent Moon. Maddie played all of it. Because I had friends there who were like, Crescent Moon, and we were like, we like it.
Yeah.
And there was a person who was teaching us from Osprey, wasn't there?
Yeah, which was super helpful to like understand everyone's roles in the game a bit better. Because I think the first time we played, I was like just trying to get what I did. Whereas like he could be like, "You're this person. Your first move would make sense to do this because you're doing this," and it was like just super helpful to like, oh, okay, like.
This is the one we played on the game day.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Right.
Yeah. But then I had to go.
Yeah.
Because I had like a press thing. But what happened when I left, Maddie?
You passed it on to the guy who was teaching us.
Yeah.
And you'd like set it up really well. Like you were the warlord and you set up all your pieces like
I did
in a lot of different kind of armies in a lot of different places. And then when you left, when it got to his turn, he just destroyed me. He was like, long term, this wouldn't make sense, but because we're only gonna play for like 10 more minutes, I'm just gonna do this. I'm just got like all of his people to come and just to kill all of mine. I was like, oh. But it was great because like it just really showed like the possibilities of what these characters could do. Like if you set it up for like one big move, and it was just kind of like.
I feel like even like only having played once before, but even that like that time I played, like the second time I played, I already had a better understanding of like what the better thing to do was. So and also like the person who was teaching us, they were like my warlord's son. Like I was passing on.
And
like unwanted vengeance.
Yeah, and boy did they. And then you also played another game while I was at my
What? Oh, I forgot what it's called.
Libertalia.
That's it.
I wondered if that's what you were talking about because you were like, I played a fun pirate game, and I was like, is it Libertalia? I don't know.
Is it like Winds of Skycrest? Is that it? Something like that?
Yeah, it's like a new one because they're trying to do like the things that changed.
Yeah, Stonemaier.
It's in the vlog, so I can look at it.
There's a vlog coming.
Ooh.
Yeah,
vlog coming. Yeah, no, it's the new edition of Libertalia. So you can actually read about it on the website because I covered it all.
Dicebreaker.com.
Libertalia. Yeah, reporter Alex Meehan. Libertalia is like a really classic pirate game that's got some dodgy, problematic bits to it, but it went out of print for a while. And I think I explicitly spoke about the fact that, and I believe Lowleads was also a fan of like the fact that it's out of print, and like that's such a shame because the game itself is actually really fun. But then, funnily enough, there were like the information, kind of little rumor information came out that Stonemaier might have gotten the rights to it, and lo and behold, they had. So now they got the rights to the Libertalia from the original designer.
Yeah, this is Stonemaier of Siphon Wingspan.
Yeah, and now they've made this new one, which is like themed completely. It's still pirate themed-ish. But they're all animal people.
It's
that's
great.
fun,
The art is really nice. Yeah, there's like a really cute sloth with a little like gun, and I love them. They're my favorite.
Oh wow!
I feel
Not
like
mechanically,
pirate stuff. Maybe not the best if like to be on defense of all things.
Their thing was like they were a gunner, so their thing was like you got points if you either killed someone like on another ship or on your own ship you would like get something better for it. So it's like they're kind of more like just a one shot like ending. So
is that the lowest number or the highest number, whatever one? Is that the one that goes last in every round? Because I guess that would then make sense for the that's what I'm just thinking. It's like, okay, that does actually make perfect sense.
No, they kind of go like depending on what time of day it is, and I think theirs was like a night thing. So I mean, it was like further on in the round that thing that activated.
I'm just imagining like a little guy just really trying to like lift up the cannonball, put it in, get the gunpowder, put it in. As it is. So
the art's all really nice, and it was really, really fun. You're just you basically kind of like setting up. You're all playing characters and they have like different values, and you're trying to make sure you go in a certain order to like get the best loot, to like do your actions when you want to do them, and things like that. But you're all kind of like, you have the same characters, but you're like putting down the cards without showing each other and then revealing them and hoping like you've either got a lower number or a higher number depending on what you want to do. And it's really, really fun. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I hadn't played the original, but I definitely would want to play it again.
Yeah, I turned up at the end.
Yeah.
And I sort of had a read of like, because in the rulebook they actually state like what the changes are to
yeah, which is cool.
gameplay, and like fundamentally it's still the same. But there are some new cards in there that aren't in the original that I don't know which ones are new because I wasn't around.
Yeah, like new characters, I think. I think your friends have played and they were saying it.
And I believe they tweaked like a few things, but it works pretty much exactly the same way. But it just looks really nice, and I really want to give it a go because Libertalia is really great. So yeah, that's cool. When I was away at my press thing, I got to play. Well, I didn't play. I got a sort of mini little demo of 11, the Football Manager board game, which is coming from Portal Games. So they're the ones that do Robinson Crusoe, and like they did the detective modern crime board game, etc. But they're releasing this Football Manager board game. I'm not really the target market for this game.
Yeah.
You don't like spreadsheets.
Yeah, because I don't like spreadsheets and I don't really like football.
I mean, that's Football Manager in a nutshell, really.
Yeah, and I've never played Football Manager. But like, it was a very deep kind of Euro game. It was actually a lot more complicated than I expected. Where you're like managing all these different parts of like your team, your like the stadium that you own. Like you've got a board of like financiers who have certain demands, and like they also affect like your you have like a dice pool that relate to like your finances, your fans, kind of like how much do your fans like you. You also can like buy new football players for your team, and then you can put them in like your different like offense, defense, whatever. You can buy different like formations that you can put players in. You have like 3 in like midfield, like 4 in offense, yada yada yada. You can buy new staff members for your like I don't know what you call team that are like working for you. So you've got like managers, you've got like doctors and things like that. You can also buy new stuff for your stadiums. You can buy like advertisement. You can buy new stands for your fans to kind of sit in. And then you actually like sort of play football matches where you roll like a die, and it's and you compare like your numbers to the other team's numbers, and that kind of determines whether a goal is scored in like the different sections of the pitch. So and then that determines like how your team did, and then you move up like a table, like a league, and then the goal of it is points. So it's just collecting victory points, but there are many different ways that you can get victory points, and it's just like it's a lot. None of the teams are officially named. They're all like Bumble Bum United and like Cuck, you know, like made it up. I don't know.
What? Simply Cuck. got it.
Yeah, like football name.
Yeah, my favorite tea.
Oh god. Yeah, I mean,
cucumber sandwich. United.
I used to play. Like, I remember. I am not a football fan. I'm not really a sports fan. But I played a lot of Football Manager as a younger me. So I'm kind of intrigued about this, and I think because I am a desperately dull person, I think that the spreadsheet side of it is the stuff that was really fun for me. Is like I liked managing the numbers, which probably explains how I ended up in my current job.
Yeah,
because I like kind of being like, this makes the numbers go up.
Somebody's got to do it because it ain't happening this time.
But I also I always liked Pro Evo's thing of not having the official licenses, so they would have like Ravid Peckham and stuff like that.
Yeah, like Pottenham or Darsenal.
Yeah,
Pottenham top.
But it sounds.
Wait, is that actually right? I don't know.
But it sounds like you weren't necessarily won over by the gameplay of this in isolation.
It's just not for me. I genuinely believe that there are people who would enjoy that. In terms of how it worked, it all kind of operated fine. But I'm not a huge Eurogame person anyway, so that's already one tick of not sure. Football, don't care. Football Manager, don't care. So it's kind of
going through the stuff you went through me, and I wanted to die. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't. This is also not for me, and I'm sure it's lovely. Yeah. I'm sure this is gonna be wow for everyone else.
Yeah. The thing is, Portal games are really interesting because sometimes they will do some really thematically heavy stuff, like storytelling stuff, like detective and every Batman, Everybody Lies, and everything like that. But then they'll do really chunky things like Robinson Crusoe, games that are designed to really kind of test your
resolve, mental
intelligence, whatever. And it definitely feels like this is one of those games where there's no player interaction beyond just buying cards, which I'm not a huge fan of. Even with my Euro games that I do like, the Euro games that I do like often have some amount of player interaction here. You can get an expansion that does actually have players competing directly against one another, because in the core game you just compete against AI. That makes sense. But you're just sort of in your own little box, getting your points, which a lot of Euro games are like that. They also kind of revealed a lot of there are a lot of expansions for this game already, and it's not even come out. So there was the one that allowed you to be directly competitive against one another. There was one that added an international league. There was one that added a campaign mode.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
That I believe is solo.
I'm kind of surprised that stuff, isn't in the game, because it's an odd choice for a board game to begin with, because my memory of Football Manager is versus something like FIFA, where it's a lot of the appeal of that game is playing directly against someone. Football Manager is very much a single-player game, You're taking your club up the league table, but also, it's kind of always built around that campaign of over the season or over whatever time frame. So it's weird to have broken that out.
My kind of big question a little bit is why is this a board game? Or why isn't it just a solo game like you just said? Because
could be a video game.
what the other players are doing the other players are doing aren't really affecting you. And I believe there was also another expansion that added more things for you to put in your stadium and stuff. But
I have a question when you're ready.
Yes.
It's just I just wondered what Maddie thought about it, because Maddie likes football.
Yeah, this is my thing. I like football.
Yeah.
But after because you can't have the actual teams. I'm if I'm not playing as Liverpool, then why am I here? If I can't have Mo Salah on the board, I don't.
That was another question, because I was talking to Matt about this, and he said apparently the big appeal, one of the big appeals for Football Manager is just the game itself. And I was is it not you get to manage Arsenal or whatever if you're a fan?
Yeah, I mean, for me at least, I'm not a football fan, so I just enjoyed the game for the game. And people do buy Pro Evo and they buy games that don't necessarily have the official licenses because they do like it. But yeah,
Well,
I think
those
you're
are
right.
like
A lot of the appeal is like, here's my
Yeah.
team, I am leading them to
yeah,
victory.
I'm leading them to the victory that they may never have in
Yeah,
real life.
I am
Yeah,
managing
yeah.
my salaries.
Because they're like Derby or something, you know, like.
I can definitely see the appeal of that. Like, I know a lot of people that play FIFA and like they don't play with the big teams because they're like, I know and like this team. I want to like build up another team, and like there is that appeal of like, I like football as like a whole industry, and I want to like be involved in that. Whereas, like,
Yeah.
I guess again, I like football to watch it rather than like
I will
everything
say,
else that goes on. So
I feel like I've been very. I feel like not negative, but kind of apathetic. That's more
I mean,
because none
yeah.
of it is like what I like. So therefore, I would say if Matt Jarvis like, can you please review 11? I'd probably say no, because like none of this.
I probably wouldn't assign it, in fairness.
Yeah,
I would probably
like,
find
and
someone who is at least somewhat
I
interested
feel
in
like it
football,
would
but-
be unfair for me to play this because it's just so out of my ballpark of what I
This is
what
a
I
real
like.
Maddie job, I think.
But one of like I think some of the positives of it was number one, it didn't feel like a sort of half-baked thing. Like it's not like they just said we're just going to use the Football Manager thing, and then we'll just make whatever kind of rubbish we can come out with. Because obviously a lot of I don't know if is it officially licensed.
No, it's not. That's why it's
No.
called 11. Like it's not.
Right,
Football
okay.
Why is it
Manager,
called
the
11?
video game.
That's a
Because
question.
there's 11 players on a team.
Right, okay. I was like,
There you go.
the document?
It's not
I don't
officially-
know.
It's a
I
Stranger
didn't think
Things
it
time.
was.
Nobody saw
Yeah.
it coming.
Lib, I would have asked the exact same question. I watch football all the time.
What is it?
I didn't think it was officially licensed, but like that's basically what it is. But I feel like it definitely there's been care and thought like put into this. I think people who like Football Manager would possibly like this. It depends if they only like Football Manager or whether they like the kind of mechanics of Football Manager. And if they like board games. I would not say this is a game for like a very casual, like a very sort of loose board, like someone who's maybe played Monopoly or something. I wouldn't recommend this because it is quite heavy. The artwork is really nice. I was impressed by that. It's got a really, really nice art style. Like the characters in it are very diverse, which is nice to see.
That's nice. Can you pick the color of your team?
You can pick from a selection of teams, and they are different colors. So yes.
Is there room for you to like have a custom team, or do you have to? Are like the components already named after Dalloway United or whatever it might be?
You probably could make your own if you wanted. Like, not the team that you pick doesn't have like special. There's no special aspects of any particular team. I think.
Right.
I believe that there are difficulty levels depending on what league you play in. So each league has a different set of teams that are going to be in that league. And then there's another thing I didn't quite mention. As well as like the players doing their things and then their matches deciding where they go in the league. You've also got like AI teams that then like, they will have, there's like a system to decide how they did. And then they move up the table. And then they're also the teams that you play against. So then in the other leagues, like we were playing in a local league, but then in the like kind of, let's call it Premier League. You'll play against teams that are more difficult, like they've got better formations, or their players are like already, they've already got buffs and like boosts. They're not just standard players. So there is like a difficulty setting that you can do, which is good. I would just feel maybe how many times could you play this game and it still like feels
for me
engaging.
Yeah, this feels like that. I mean, kind of like Football Manager, right? It's like Football Manager isn't. It's popular. There have been a lot of installments in that series, but it's
And I'm
not
never gonna play
FIFA.
it. Yeah.
And this feels like the kind of thing that's primed for a very committed group of people who do really
I
enjoy
think
that
there
kind of
is
thing, to make
definitely an audience.
custom content as well,
Yeah,
as stuff,
totally.
like
Yeah.
to put their local team in, or to put like
Yeah,
a licensed team in, but on their own back, like maybe knock up some cards together, that kind of thing. So
I think there will definitely be people who will like this. That those people just are not me. So
yeah, that's
like,
not every game is for everyone, but yeah, it's kind of interesting to see someone do this. I'm surprised there hasn't been.
Totally.
I know of some games that have like some smaller indie titles that are kind of gone towards this direction of like football management and like trying to do the football on a pitch thing, but I've never seen one from kind of a bigger label like Portal.
But Portal games have done similar things like this. Like you mentioned Pret-a-Porter the other day,
which is fashion,
about the fashion industry.
So which is
they
notoriously heavy, like crunchy and rules complex. And...
So they kind of just make these kind of games that feel like for very specific audiences, where it's like.
But I mean, football is huge. So like, if even a fraction of the people who like football pick up this game,
Although I don't want to generalize, but it doesn't feel like I walk into like my local pub. And then there'll be a bunch of lads playing.
Maybe for like
11.
The manager, the game is huge. Like it's huge. They have one every single year. Like it's hugely popular.
Yeah, no.
Like, there is like a big selection of people that like want to organize like the teams, want to look into the industry and like that management side of stuff. Like
maybe like
I absolutely think that people.
Yeah, it's like fancy football, right?
Yeah.
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 Anyway, there you go. Maddie and I also played very quickly a game called Fuzzies.
Yeah,
the Fuzzies at UK Games Expo, which I actually covered when it came out on Kickstarter.
Is this the one from is it the Monica's people or something like that? It's
I think so, yeah.
Or the Wavelength people. I think it's Wolfgang Varsh and Alex.
Yeah, I think so. It's like a dexterity game where there's like a tower, a bit like Jenga, but
it's
made up of these little pom-pom things.
Oh, little guys.
And they stick to each other.
Yeah.
And you need to like use a little pair of tweezers to like pick them up and like put them on the tower. But then if they fall off, then you get like what do you call them? Like penalties.
Yeah, like
forfeits. Unfortunately, though, the tower that we were playing with, I think, had been used a lot.
Yeah. And, it needed like re-squishing together because like you meant to put it in a big cup to like squish it all together and then like empty it out, but I think it needed like properly squishing down because like a lot of people would be like pulling it apart.
Some of its stickiness because some of them were just like falling off.
Are they like proper little sticky guys? I see.
They're meant to be like
to each other. Yeah, they're like
fuzzy. You know, like they're like the friction between them.
That's great.
Yeah, a lot of people had bought copies by the sound of it. Like,
yeah, he was like, if you want to get a copy, you got to get one now. Like, just so you know, we've sold this many. So like,
we were like, okay.
Get one, you probably won't get one. And we were like, it's
official
fine, man.
Scarcity, maybe.
Sorry.
And what was the?
Gotta get your fuzzies.
You've got to get your fuzzies
Get
now.
your fuzzies.
Get your fuzzies. I bought a copy of 6 Nit, which I love that game. 6 Nymphs, 6 Nit. Whatever.
Are you alright? Yeah.
No. Sometimes my friend is like, "It's not. You don't say it like that," and I'm like, I like saying it like 6 minutes. And I also bought an expansion for Quacks of Quedlinburg. The Herb Witches, which I want to play really bad because I love Quack. And Herb Witches adds some really cool stuff.
Also, Wolfgang Bosch, weirdly.
And we also played. What other game did we play, Maddie?
We played.
Is it there?
Right here.
Right. Oh my god!
Not my copy. It's one we have in the office. But we played a game about wee whimsical creatures and trying to identify them after someone makes noises. Very fun.
It's like a real my friend had bought a copy because they said they'd gone to their stall. And I can't remember who the publisher, the creator
It's Bez, right?
Yeah,
so she previously did In a Bind, which became Yogi.
Okay.
And has done things like Wibble ++, which I think is now called something else. But she's known for very, I think what's the best way of saying it? It's like they're very like inventive small games. They are very like handcrafted. Like the original In a Bind was all of her own artwork, and I love In a Bind. Like it is, for those who don't know, it's like stood up twister. So you pull cards and you're trying to put them in different parts of your body, so you keep them in like your neck. Or
We
your
played it
arm.
on a stream.
Oh yeah, we did
play
that.
on the stream. Yeah.
The Yogi, because I believe
Yeah.
In a Bind is like, is it bondage themed?
No. In a Bind is not
Am I getting
bondage.
confused?
I think you're maybe thinking of the Beast, but In a Bind was basically the original indie release.
What the hell am I
that
thinking
out.
of?
I don't
I
know.
mean,
Yogi was where it was
I'm
picked
not
up
surprised.
by Gigamic, which is the French
Maybe
publisher.
I'm
So
thinking of a.
they gave it a wider release as Yogi with
That's
like
so
I
different
might be
cool.
thinking of an
and so on.
RPG.
So,
Very fun.
but yeah, in a Bind is just it's Bez's own artwork. Like she I think still does. If you buy something off her website, she will send it to you in an envelope with like an illustration on the envelope,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And she's super creative, like really distinctive. Like wears a lot of red, is known for wearing red everywhere.
Amazing.
She's
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan of Bez.
when your
her
friends
work.
bought it, it came in a giant balloon.
A balloon,
like a
yeah,
giant
big red balloon. A
full of
giant
other
red
little
balloon.
Yeah,
that
it
we
was
had to pop.
amazing.
Pink Daisy says you're thinking of Lady Killer In a Bind. Yes, I am.
okay.
Yeah, it came in a big balloon, and then my friend popped it, and it was really loud.
So like we had
Oh.
a massive room of people.
We were in the open play area, and she was like, "Oh, I hope this isn't too loud," and popped it, and everyone like looked up, and all the cars flew everywhere. But it was very fun. It's like a game where you lay these monsters out, and the drawings are really like funny and weird and
I'll
cute.
get one out for visual. You can see one through the packet there.
Oh,
People
yeah.
looking.
And then one person has to like randomly pick one from using like a deck card, and then everyone else has to like close their eyes, and then they make a noise that they think the monster would make.
Oh, that guy
then
would absolutely
everyone-
just do something like that's
Yeah,
that's the kind of
like
thing. Yeah, that's your man. That's
And then we all get to vote which monster we think it is, and it's surprising how often like we get it accurate. Like,
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Like my friend did one that I thought was amazing. Like the monster was like he had like this face, and we immediately knew who it was.
I think it's the one I've got on recording, because the second recording I have is us all voting for the same one, and we all like get it
Yeah.
right. So I hope that's the
Love that.
recording I've got. But it's
Yeah,
great.
we all immediately know who it
Like,
is.
it's number 2.
That was really good fun.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to mention about UKGE, Maddie?
About UKGE, I don't think so.
Can I also mention the fact that you guys played for the first time in the stream of Twilight, the Twilight Saga, Twilight.
So yeah, at MCM, Maddie was like, before MCM, Maddie and Liv were like, oh, we're gonna have a sleep. Well, we were all like, we're gonna have a sleepover, and then Maddie and Liv were like, we're gonna watch Eva.
Twilight. Oh, yeah.
They basically were like, here's
your choice.
here's your torture option, either Glee or Twilight. And I was
High
like,
School Musical.
wow.
High School Musical, actually.
Twilight.
Yes.
Oh.
Take your pick.
I have no
It was
problems
High
here.
School.
Exactly.
It was High
that.
School Musical or Twilight, and I was
It's
like,
either,
oh god,
it's
okay.
either like listening to us quote Twilight, like "Hold on tight, Spider Monkey," or listening to us go. "Bah, bah,
Is she even Italian?
bah." Is she even Italian?
Her name's Bella.
And so I picked my poison, which was Twilight.
Yeah.
And
I would also say, actually, you said you let me on your Netflix, and I was like, well, this is being recommended right now. And it was Twilight, so I couldn't do it.
Yes.
and Maddie was there, and you were like performing some of the scenes. You were doing, I would describe it as interpretive dance, like
Way Edward moves
On the
me
bed.
as a person.
you were like watching it on the bed on
Like,
my laptop.
If you watch it, like every scene, he's like just like above her, like looking
Yeah.
down.
And
He
you-
moves neither like a human nor a vampire. He
No.
moves like
No,
a
I was
stop motion doll.
So I was just reenacting what he was doing and then saying
I was
it.
just
being like,
laying
this is
there.
the skin of a
Like,
killer.
I was laying there with my chamomile tea, and I would just look to the side, and Maddie was like looming over me.
Oh, see, at this point, at this point, I'd passed out from the sheer amount of stuff that we'd done during the day. Oh boy, did I miss a show
during it.
We did only get for an hour.
Yeah, we only got for an hour. But then like Maddie was. This is long, but I was staying with my parents that weekend because they live closer to Birmingham at UK Games Expo, and I said to Maddie, would you like to stay over because it's just better rather than going all the way to Brighton? And we were like, yes. Whether that was a ploy for you to see more into my sort of life and my...
I love everything, Maddie.
While you slept, just like ruining your Netflix algorithm.
Rummaging through drawers, looking at your old like report cards from like primary school.
I'm asleep and you're like in my parents' like loft. Like,
needs to work harder.
And you met like my parents' dog, and he put like his wet, dirty ears.
Your dog dipped his big floppy ears in something that was wet, and then came and slapped them on my back.
You described him as stinky but cute.
No.
And yeah, we finished Twilight. And I voluntarily said, let's finish Twilight. And then I voluntarily pressed play on New Moon.
You did
Yeah, see, that's how they get you. That's exactly what Claire and I
Hour
Get
of
in.
New Moon. I was like,
watched
what have you
up to
turned me into?
Where did they-
Who am I now?
We
One of
watched up
us.
to my favourite bit of the second movie, which is what we did the first time.
Mhm.
We watched up
What's
to
your favourite
Bella,
bit?
where the hell have
second
you
movie
been,
is
Loca?
so fun.
And I was like,
Where the
what
hell
have they
you
done
been,
to my
Luca?
boy? What have they done to my boy? Where's all his fluffy hair? He's all...
Oh, he's
Yeah,
ripped now. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
There's so much like those werewolves must go through clothes like anybody's business because
I know. They do.
even when they're not in a hurry to get somewhere, they don't take the clothes off before they transform
Yeah.
and it just sheds off them. And it's like that is not efficient. That
So
is not a
wasteful.
sustainable way.
They must have like bulk buy jean shorts because that's
Yeah.
all they wear.
They love their jorts. Yeah, they all wear jorts.
In the lore of Twilight, basically they transform when they get mad, and one of them has actual anger issues. So it's like he's like, well, I guess I should just go around nude because this is not good for me. Yeah.
And the bit I really laughed at was like when they're right at the beginning when Bella goes round for her birthday to like Edward's house.
Another great. I couldn't believe you hadn't seen it. I was
Yes,
just like on the
that's
edge of my
wild.
seat watching you watch it. I was
Yeah.
like,
And then Ed, like something happens and Bella gets cut or something, and then Jasper's like,
She has the paper
I want that blood. And then he goes to go for it, and like Edward like punches her. Like,
Edward
full on,
yeets Bella so hard.
It's not like he like pushes her out of the way. He literally
like launches her.
so much more.
Yeah.
So like the room is
Because he's
covered
an
in blood.
idiot. Such an idiot.
Like, why did you do that?
And then like also at breakfast at MCM, like me, Maddie and Meehan were like discussing how we were going to like do a performance for Dicebreaker of all of the
we
films.
Were like, what if the panel we just didn't do what was planned and we just turned it into a live action remake?
Green is what? Good. But like I said that we were going to film New Moon but not tell you as Bella we were filming New Moon, so it would just be me like punching you out into a table.
And then
Maddie being like, yeah.
So I wouldn't know. It would be like if you ever seen the film Bowfinger, it would be like I don't know that I'm in a film.
No, you don't know. You never know.
As Bella, and then you just come on and eat me.
And then Maddie's trying to kill you.
Oh yeah, because Liv would play Edward, who's barely in that film, by the way, and then Maddie would play everybody else, including Jacobs.
Yeah.
you would be like, hi there, Loka.
I'd be like, Bella, where the hell have you been,
Loka? And then you
would
lift her
wear
up and spin
jean
you around.
shorts.
And I would wear so many jean shorts. I have so many costume changes. I have to think about this.
Yeah, you really do.
I think I'd catch on.
Anyway.
Yeah.
There's a real window into the Dicebreaker creative process.
Keep an eye on Dicebreaker Plus, because we're gonna do it and no one can stop us.
Maybe we could do watch throughs of the High School Musical films, because we've done a couple. I mean, the best thing about High School Musical is then you then get to watch High School Musical 2, which has the best High School Musical song in.
When he's like really into
I've
it.
already established that I'm the Ryan to Liv Sharpay. So
Yes,
I think it's very
exactly.
important
Yeah,
to watch that.
like Chad's
I
Idol
can fabulosa.
dance is, you know.
I don't understand any of this because I've never seen a single.
Well,
my
now we
God.
have to watch it.
I've
I
never seen a single High School Musical.
Oh well, you're
Oh, you are in
gonna.
for a treat.
And I will just be going on about how much I hate Gabriella. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, she's the worst character.
She's so terrible.
Coda Bear, by the way, who's been a Dicebreaker Plus member for 4 months.
Ah.
His message says, one of my issues with Twilight is these centuries-old vampires all wanting to spend their eternities
Oh my
masquerading as high school
god,
students.
I know.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
Twilight
Totally.
massively problematic. There's a lot
So
of like,
much.
Mhm.
there's a lot of toxic
like-
relationship in there. There's a lot of like weird stuff about like staying Virginia for your
Look,
marriage.
you can't
Yeah.
before
There's
marriage.
a lot of,
Yes, you
a
absolutely
lot of our
can.
second or third film is like a lot of the like very, like
What?
I just like it's when they go to prom and like Edward's at prom and I'm like, what are you doing
What are you
here?
doing here?
Why would you want
Yeah.
to be here? You're
It's
over
deeply
100
weird.
old.
And there's multiple points where they reference that Edward is like 100 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at other points, because Bella will be like, "Oh, you're like
Younger than me.
you're younger than me or something,"
Yeah.
and he'll be like, "Actually, I'm 100 years old," and it's like
And
that
it's
just
like,
makes it weirder.
that's
Edward.
gross.
So don't do that.
And then they have
And
that was
also-
in New Moon. They have that whole interaction where she's like, "Oh, you're an old man. Like maybe I should like leave you or something."
And it's like, yeah, maybe you should. That and the fact that
yeah,
he's deeply
yeah.
toxic.
And then Maddie and I were both like, he's gonna stay like this forever.
Mm.
And maybe like at the moment when you're like 17, like around his age, you're gonna like that. But like if you got older, you'd be like, I don't want this.
Yeah.
I don't want to date
And
a
then-
child. Like,
No, exactly. But
we
for
were-
real, 17-year-olds are tiny little babies. Come on.
I know. And then Maddie and I were both like, we all know that the real hunk of this story is Carlisle. No.
Oh, Carlisle. Love Carlisle.
Daddy Doctor.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Matt's
Is
like,
there
stop
is
it.
there anything else that anyone wants to talk about that they've played either at UK Games Expo or in
Twilight.
general?
Matt, good.
I also the other night I played more Jaipur, which is really good. Love Jaipur. What else have I played? Anything else? But nah. I don't think so. I think that's everything. Like 40 minutes later.
I've been making some minis for Turnip 28
Ooh.
and Silver Bayonet, which are 2 Napoleonic games that are kind of like supernatural and spooky. Silver Bayonet is by the same guy that did Frostgrave. So this was
Joseph
like,
McCullough.
gotta do it. Yeah. And it's like Napoleonic miniatures game, but it's all like werewolves and like vampires, and you're like finding info about them and like fighting them and stuff.
Werewolves and vampires, Maddie.
Yeah, this
Oh
is the
my
link.
God.
The segue was there,
So
but it
back
wasn't
to
coming, so I
Twilight.
just had to cut that off while it was
Yeah.
the segue was just sat there for the last 25
I'm
minutes.
so sorry, I just didn't think about it because I was thinking
Look,
about
I'm,
Turnip 28.
I'm wearing like a wolf.
Woo!
Like a
Look
wolf.
at
Yeah.
that.
Also,
Like, this is all connected.
I just want to say that Fel and Chaz made some very valid points about how the family has to travel to different places until it physically seems like they can't, they need to grow, they need to age, and they're like, they have to go.
Yeah. Do you know who else moves often between places? Straight up criminals.
Wow.
Why are they doing a carnival?
I've been watching a lot of Mindhunter recently, and
Oh.
Ed would be right on there. Ed
Yeah.
would be like suspect number
Yeah.
one, hanging around schools, moving often, hangs out in woods. Like, anyway, Turnip 28, Maddie, I know of by name, but I know that it's like, it's got like a real cult following. Is that like the best way?
Yeah,
of
it's
describing it? I don't know.
like you can get it totally for free. It's like a guy that's designed a. I'm sorry, I'm really bad with names.
Just
But
look it
you
up,
can just
Turnip.
Google it. Turnip 28. So he did it for free, and he's just like updated it a bunch. It's like in a really good place at the moment. Really, really cool art. And it's basically, again, Napoleonic times, but it's like after the war has ended, it didn't really end. Like a weird root vegetable apocalypse happened, and so like everyone is just like slugging around in the mud, like growing like weird like turnip heads and stuff. So it's very much based on like kit bashing. So you take like kind of cheap Napoleonic minis, which are 28mm minis, hence the name, and then cutting them up and like gluing like different other minis on them to make weird people, and I'm obsessed with it. It's like my favorite thing. Like I've just been doing nothing but kit bashing every single night for the last like week and a half, like for about 2 weweeks now. Just like
look at my horrible little children.
It's so cool. I posted some stuff online, and yeah, people liked it, so you can check that out. But honestly, search it. It's really, really cool. And kit bashing is my favorite thing. You could just be so creative and like messy, but
I'd be interested in trying some kit bashing with you, Maddie.
We should do some.
We can make our own little sort of monster.
Make for free.
Armies.
Make some guys.
Be like Sid from Toy Story.
I've cut up children's toys to make other creatures for other games.
So that was like one of the first things you told me about yourself, I'm pretty sure. And I was like, oh, good.
That starts every conversation. I cut up children's toys.
Oh,
okay.
Before I started this job, so yes, I was getting up to some fun things.
Great. So this is your interview. So if you could...
is there a reason it's called Turnip 28, by the way? I don't know. I only know it by name, but I don't know the reasoning behind the name.
Yeah, so Turnip because it's like Turnip Apocalypse, and 28 because it's 28mm minis.
Okay, so not the vegetable, and then
so there will be a test about this podcast.
Okay.
I was never good at the Napoleonics. That's cool though.
There's a couple of books that I really like that are set in that time period, so I'm kind of like I'm enjoying getting more into that.
Nice.
And yeah, as you mentioned, Silver Bayonet is Osprey, which is the Frostgrave people. So and so again, like both of those games don't have like dedicated minis, right? It's you use the stuff you have with those rule sets.
Yeah, so I've cut up a lot of Warhammer. I'm sorry, Warhammer.
Look, they're doing fine.
Yeah.
I have boxes and boxes of Warhammer at home because I just love making it and painting it, and I don't really play much with it. I just like the minis. So I had like a massive like bunch of Sylvaneth stuff left over, which is like the tree people army. So I was just like gluing that onto like little Napoleonic war people, and it looks great and it's very fun. But yeah, so it's mini agnostic, so you just kind of like bring your own stuff, like as I said before in things. I use like Lego and little kids toys and all sorts of things.
Nice. It's really like accessible, which I love. So which mini games like is usually they're like can be a bit more money, so it's nice to have stuff you can just get creative with.
For sure.
So by the way, I have been unpacking stuff in this new home that I am in. Hello.
Yeah.
And guess what I found? It's only bloody Catchphrase.
Catchphrase the card game. Oh my god.
Wow. Little guy in the corner.
Mr. Chips, please. He has the name.
Yeah, exactly.
I
can't believe you. Would you like to try one?
Are you actually doing this?
I used to get really confused because there was like a video game shop in Letchworth, which is not that far from me, and it was called Mr. Chips. And as a kid, I never put two and two together and thought, oh, it's microchips. So instead, I always thought it was like a catchphrase-based video game shop.
I can't stop looking at this.
I've never watched this. What's happening? I'm so confused.
Catchphrase.
Wait, have you never seen Catchphrase?
I've not watched many like.
You say what you
TV
see.
shows
So
like this.
look, each thing is like a catchphrase. So
what is this? Say what you see.
I realise
this is going to translate well to audio.
No, yeah.
I describe it as Mr. Chips has like an ironing board, and I don't know what on it. It looks like it's doing a weave.
Steam iron, foot iron.
Oh yeah, he's
put your foot on the gas. I don't know.
That's definitely not what it
is. This is how catchphrase tends to go, man. They say things, and then what used to be Roy Walker, and I believe is now Stephen Mulhern, goes, "Oh, you're close, but you're not right."
One. It's pumping iron.
Pumping iron.
Oh.
Pumping iron.
There's a little pump thing on the bottom.
It's a little pump.
Yeah, like a foot pump. Maybe we should play the catchphrase card game at some point on stream.
Yeah.
I think it would be fun because I'm very bad at it.
I was gonna say I can tell you I'm gonna be awful at this. Like
We're
my
all
brain
gonna be
doesn't
pretty
work
bad at it,
like that. Like
that's the fun of catchphrase.
don't work like that.
I have not seen this pack in years, and I don't think I got through all of them. There's a lot of guys in here, so like,
Oh, wow.
So many catchphrases.
yeah, lots of catchphrases.
I'm
Anyway,
just
carry
gonna
on.
quickly mention I've also I also still been playing Resident Evil 2 Remake, and I'm very scared, and there are horrible blob monsters that are trying to kill me, and but it's really good. And I met Ada Wong, she's really nice, and I like the way she's like
Nice as she.
she has step on energy with Leon, and I really enjoy that because he's like a prize himbo in that game. And he doesn't know what's going on. She's like, I haven't got time for you.
Yeah,
silly
if
boy.
the Resident Evil games are good for anything, it's zombies, himbos who probably shouldn't be allowed to carry a firearm, and step on me energy.
Yeah, women who do not care about you and never will, and you're like, love me.
Women who they have
You're
a job
control.
to do. Okay, they don't have time for
love
your
me.
antics. And I also been playing a visual novel game called Arcade Spirits: The New Challenges.
Oh, okay, Spirits is so nice.
I love. the new game is so good.
Oh,
it's so good, Maddie. It's
Who are you
about like
dating?
video games. Who am I dating?
Yeah.
There's a character in it called Loxley who I like very much
Ooh.
because he is a himbo.
Nice. Love
I
it.
can't help
Right.
myself.
No.
The himbo energy. If they're big and stupid.
If it's
too
not
big
Leon
thumbs up.
Kennedy, it's a different himbo.
I love Leon. He's a good boy.
I saw a post yesterday that was just like, so you're bi. You mean you're dating a gamer boy with Labrador energy? I was like, it's very good.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's that guy. Yeah, he's got the Labrador energy.
That guy.
Yeah.
There you go. We've been going on a while.
Yeah, is that everything? Is there anything else that anybody's played that they want to talk about?
Now.
I played a lot of
Twilight.
railroading.
No, Railroad Inc. Is that
Yeah.
the app?
No, I bought Oliver the game for his birthday.
Happy
Hence why I
birthday.
bought lots of things and playing lots of new things, hence lots of minis. Yes, he likes trains and his new favorite thing. We just play it like every day.
Yes.
He loves it. It's like just like the perfect like we're just sat on the
Finally.
sofa like having tea or something, and then we're like, it's like just get it out and like just draw some stuff. He beats me every time by far. 'Cause he's amazing at it. But I'm like,
expert conductor.
Put Matthew
still
Jarvis and Oliver on a train together.
I've
I
already
love
literally
Railroading.
suggested
Yeah.
that. I was like, play date, let's go.
Yeah.
I mean,
played-
yeah.
Sorry.
I was literally just like train games and looked them up.
I played Railroad Inc. I think I've told this story before. I played it on the train back from Essen the year it came out, and it's one of the best journeys I've ever had because it was just from Germany
so
back to the UK, just playing a train game on a train.
Very
They stopped the
wholesome.
train at one point because someone had to be arrested, and then but it
Ooh.
meant that I could
'Cause
play
they said
another
they
game
didn't
of
like
Railroad
railroading.
Inc. So even better. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, I'm sorry, the culture police are here. I'm arresting you for having poor taste.
You have the right to remain silent about your bad takes.
What do you mean you don't like anime?
I'd be arrested before you know it.
I know, you deserve it.
Meehan, I bet you'd like Beastars. Watch some Beastars.
Oh,
I
Liv,
have
wait, have we spoken about Beastar Season 2?
Beastars.
Not on the podcast, we can talk afterwards because this is dragging on, but I
Let's
finished
talk
Season 2 of Beastars.
Beastars,
Oh,
man.
I've not watched season 2.
Let's talk.
Now.
Yes. Okay, is there anything else that anyone wants to talk about before we close off this week's podcast?
No.
No, sorry for keep adding games.
No, it's all good. It's a podcast about games. We've chatted about a lot of games, but for this week, that is the Dicebreaker Podcast. I've been Matt Jarvis. Thank you to Liv Kennedy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maddie Cullen.
Thank you for
Thank you,
having me.
Alex Meehan.
What have we done?
That's the question we ask ourselves every Friday. About
What has this become?
I'm going to
thank
make the
you.
thumbnail Twilight. That's what I'm going to do. So there.
Thank you if you've joined us in the chat. We are, of course, live every Friday from 2 p.m. BST. We'll be back next Friday with another episode of the Dicebreaker Podcast. But until then, stay safe, have a good weekend, and have a lovely day. Goodbye.
I think we're fine. Can you guys hear us? Hello? Hello? it! Why is that happening? Oh, whatever. Alright, I'm gonna... Okay, right. Yeah, exactly. I'm leaving now. Goodbye, everyone. I'm going back to my home planet. I'm done. Oh, how do I turn it off? Wait.